Hey, how's it going? So, I was under the mistaken impression that there was some kind of supermoon tonight, but I guess it was 2 nights ago. Uh, I don't know about you, but in my YouTube feed, I'm noticing that I'm getting a lot of stuff that's like old. It'll either be from like a year ago or more, or like, I don't know, it's like it's summer or something, and you know how it's just like nothing new is coming out, so your algorithm's just throwing up whatever kind of stuff they're, oh, you like this, right? And it's just, there's nothing new. I guess I could have just skipped all of that and said there's nothing new, but that's not true. Anyway, here, please look at my signs, because I don't know what I might touch upon this evening. So, anyway, yeah, so, but there was just this moon, right? And, I know it was in Aries, the last full moon we had, and, it was a big deal. But I actually didn't really feel much of anything, and I was really happy, because I think I had already gone through it like a couple of weeks ago. Ow, okay. So anyway, other people, though, were not having such an easy time of it. And, that could look like a lot of different things for people, but the astrology right now is kind of like throwing up your old stuff. Like, get this dealt with is like the kind of vibe or something. But also, a lot of codes, light codes, are coming from the sun, and there's all this other solar activity, and stuff in space is happening. Like, oh my god, I'm not great at describing all of that stuff, but there's a lot going on, like electromagnetic fields, like just so much at once. Like, I was talking to the woman that comes and works with me a couple of days a week, because I just have, like, I get help, and I was just saying that, because she doesn't think, like, she's not saying the same stuff I'm saying, but she does have like total intuition going on. We were in the store one day, and I kept running into the same number, and she noticed it, and she's like, you should play the lottery today, that's gotta mean something. And I was like, yeah, oh, okay, cool, yeah, exactly right, actually. And then she did it another, she's probably, I keep like finding these people that totally have like something going on. My last caregiver's house is haunted, and I asked her how long she lived there, and she said her family had lived there for generations, and that's why I asked her if her house was haunted, and she goes, you know, sometimes I see my grandfather, I think it's looks like my grandfather, and I was like, oh, how casual. She's got something going on, but you kind of don't see stuff if you don't have a little something going on. So now this person that I have now has a little something going on, and I was saying that, you know how like the phones are always talking about the G's, and that's like some kind of rays that are not healthy going through us, like EMFs, electromagnetic fields. I mean, we can handle it to a degree, but if it's super strong, it's gonna like whack us out just as bad as like the grid, the power grid, because we kind of have the same components. And then I was like, so there's that, and then like TV, and then light, and like, I was like, all of that is a wave, like some kind of wave, and they're just continually passing through us. And I was like, that's gonna make you tired, it's gonna make you irritable, it's gonna make your body do weird stuff. Like, I'm experiencing a lot of pain, and it is the time of year for me after the summer, which is short where I live. I live in the north, so you got to kind of like jump on the warm weather and the sun when it's happening. And so in the summer, that's for everyone else, it's like 3 months or more. You don't necessarily get that amount of time all the time. So for me, I always overdo the exercising, and then I have to just kind of find some other way to exercise where I'm feeling it in my joints is what I'm getting at. And it's both that time of year where I have to like stop for like a month and a half or 2 months and just not do anything to recover. It's that, but then it's also like stuff that normally doesn't hurt is going like waking me up out of sleep, like what the ow. And so I have learned that all of those waves going through us can agitate those things. That's the type of thing that, you know, like causing inflammation or something, because it affects so many people so many different ways. So that thankfully is all I'm feeling. Like I don't have like the mental or the psychological stuff that was just making me feel like crazy. I've never smoked crack, but I really never have. But I've been around crackheads, and I can tell you, I felt like what it looked to me a crackhead feels like. Well, I talked about it here maybe 3 weeks ago, a month ago now. I was straight tripping. So along those lines, about like this being overwhelmed by forces you can't like really see. I mean, you can watch some meteorological reports and some space stuff, some NASA and some space.com, whatever you got. Like, if you're inclined to find out about this stuff, I mean, you can go find graphs and measures and people talking about it, but you can't just be all, the light is right there. Well, you know what we see? The waves that we see, it's the light. But that isn't even a true representation of what we're seeing. So let me not get all sidetracked about that. I have some cards. Before I get started, though, I just want to say, I started to talk about it with the light codes coming in. There's a lot of stuff activating our DNA, like everybody's. And I know for me, like, I have gotten so, like, over the past 2 days, I've gotten so many downloads and realizations and activations that I'm just kind of like, blah, 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 blah. I have literally, like, I am still processing it, kind of, but I'm just gonna go forward because I felt like these cards, they don't need to be sitting around waiting any longer. So, okay, I don't think I even introduced this new deck. Oh sure, everything fall over. The last time I used them. So it's, they're the Sacred Soul Messages Oracle deck. Spooky. Witchy. So, I have to get my, please just stand up. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, those are the cards that I got, and I pulled some. And in regard to feeling like a lot of emotional stuff, like I said, stuff getting dragged up that, you know, as always, it's kind of that, what do you got hanging around that's kind of messing you up that you need to release. And I had a personal revelation. You don't always realize that you're holding on to something. Like, something happened, like, just like, I don't know, okay, a foul ball, just because, I don't know if you know, like, baseball, but if you want to play the game right, you hit the ball within where the diamond is, not phew over there into the stands. And that's, I guess, what it's about, is that. So some people are feeling a lot of stuff. And so yes, emotions will get dragged up, and it's we do need to like dislodge these things. And it just took something. Oh, left field. That's what I was trying to say. No wonder I went to baseball. I'm a little bit like a little knackered in the head right now. So everyone needs to have a little patience, or a lot of patience, with themselves, so that they can then have patience with everybody else. Because even the animals are feeling stuff. Like my cat. He was acting, I was worried that he was sick, like, you know, like having to go to the doctor sick. But I don't know. I don't know. He was different for the past couple of days. Today, he's great. He's like a different guy. So I guess he was going through some cat level activations and irritations. I don't know. Feelings are going to get brought up. And it might be hard to not go a little nutty, like I was talking about, which, I don't have any, I don't have any friends, and I don't go anywhere, so no one had to deal with it. Well, the kitty, but he just was hanging out like we weren't having any problems with it. But anyway, watch out for that. That's what I'm saying. So here's the card. We have to, we're gonna all be experiencing a little something. And sure, romantic relationships will experience stuff, I am sure, but also, like, we just kind of need to be showing the love to each other. And if you notice here, little tiny sort of rainbow heart. And let's not exclude people, the LGBTQ people. Not going to give a lecture on that. Let's just be nice to each other, because everybody's going to be dealing with some level of this stuff. Like, I feel highly fortunate that I'm okay right now. I know other people that are still in the aftermath of the last moon, and all I can say is that they needed some time still now, I think, because from what I know, it's just burst open stuff in people, and they're just kind of like, dealing with like that thing from left field that they, I guess it's one of those, I thought I had it under control, and then woo, the left field ball is like, what the hell, man? So watch out for that. So this card says, wherever you go and whatever you do, be in love. I mean, you could be in love with flowers and hearts, but mainly what this refers to, and is what I was basically saying, be in the being of love. Being in love. Be being in love. And then it also goes on to say, strong feelings, inspired, don't settle for less. You're going to have to do what works for you on that. I know that the strong feelings, inspired, don't settle for less, all resonate for me on a level. And as far as inspired is concerned, oh my goodness, the stuff that's been hitting me, it's like, wow. So, if you're watching this, you're probably already onto this, but I would just say, if you're feeling crazy spray, like you're just all over the place with the crazy, don't resist it. Just kind of do your best to just let it happen, because I think if you resist, it's going to make the process take longer and be more painful. And perhaps the pain is because it's something that has just been hiding there that you didn't deal with and you forgot all about, or you didn't even like notice it anymore, and you just thought like, oh, what box did I put that in? That's gone. And then the box falls over and does a Pandora on your life. So yeah, I think that might be what it's about. Next card is what is planned in your soul will sprout. This is like a, what is it, Seven of Pentacles card, I think, energy, where you plant seeds. You know what happens when you plant seeds, then you gotta wait for things to happen. And so in the meantime, make good decisions, I guess, because it goes on to say, dedication, your work is rewarded. Again, you may encounter bumps in the road, or maybe impatience, metaphorically waiting for your crop to sprout and grow. You know, like winter's about to happen. Everything is going to slow way down. Everyone is going to slow way down. So I guess what you do with your time is going to reflect on how productive you are. And I almost feel like if you don't do things to like wreck yourself in the interim while you're waiting for your seeds to grow, your crop to grow, then like you can't go wrong. Like, you know, you'll be in proper shape to deal with harvest at the time. There you go. Okay, so the next card is this beauty, and that, what do you know, dark time, downtime in the winter. It's kind of moon energy, I think. Like, it's almost like you're in the underworld while you're waiting, and the growing is happening in the underworld, and dreams happen when we're in the underworld, kind of. And I guess that's analogous to the seeds. You know, I know for me, stuff happens while I'm sleeping, and I don't remember dreams that much, and I used to kind of worry about it, but now I don't, because I don't know why. I just don't. I know that what does happen most often is I'll remember some flash of something, and I'll know that was a dream and not like an in the moment like vision type thing. Like, I'll know. And so what I can do usually is remember and sort of unfold whatever happened a little more, and then like every time I revisit it, if I think of it, I'll remember a little more. But it seems like I'll remember what I need to, like, when I'm awake, and it'll spark something else, you know. It'll like cause another penny to drop, and I'll understand something or realize something. So I mean, you don't know what the seeds are doing. I mean, we do know, we have pictures of it now, but most of us are not going to be able to look at the dirt and picture like what's happening in there, but you know, like some sort of growth situation is going on. Same for us. Like, it's all the same. It's all else, I think, that we're talking about here. So the card says, the moon is bright when it doesn't avoid the night. I don't know if I get that. It goes on to say, hang in there, be patient, you are on the right track. Don't like get all drunk and put on your soccer cleats and run all over your little crop and mess it all up when you're like hammered on the sauce. Like you don't need to do all of that. Like it's already like murky enough. So your work is not done. Like just because you planned this stuff, your work is not done, I guess is what I'm getting here. But yes, hang in there, be patient, you're on the right track. So don't fuck it up. That's us. It's interesting that there's Saturn. I got a lot of Saturn stuff today. But right now, and this was one I didn't really know about until today, but I guess Saturn is associated with time a lot. And interesting that I was just talking about time with the waiting for the things to grow. That's the passage of time. The card says, stop playing small. You are the universe in ecstatic motion. So, one of the things that I got earlier today, like I was watching something and it was just like... So, one of the things was like, you know how we have that universal saying kind of is we are one, we're all connected? What this was telling me that I saw earlier, I mean, it was literally like words from a book, and it was just talking about how everything is each other. We are all it. Like, we just make it look and seem separate and different. But for instance, it was talking about like the battle between Michael and Satan, right? But it was also saying that all of the angels are all of the same, like basically just the same guy. And all of this is going on, well, by consensus, I would think heaven and earth, like everybody and everything just agreed on this, what we have, like wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever time of day, whatever, this, this is it. This is what we got. And it all takes a long time to work out. This spaceman, though, is kind of like, you kind of have to like be in that sort of state of mind, like be able to move into, like, be in other dimensions. Like, one of the other things was talking about the brain and the perception of like being sort of a static solid, and then also being multidimensional. And I got lots of multidimensional stuff today too. But what this thing specifically was talking about is like we're in the present, like we're in the what we got, the consensus matrix that we all agreed, like this is the thing that we're gonna be in, and this is what we're doing. And if all of the angels are all the same guy, basically, like everybody's on the same team to do all of the different things, and you gotta be so but like we're in the present, and the multidimensional thing about us that gets us out of the here is that we can think about the past, or we can envision the future. And we can do that with our minds, but not with our bodies necessarily. So the astronaut, to me, is like that sort of astral travel. Like, you can go to space in your thoughts and float there and hang out and live a space life, but that's only part of you. Like, you can be in a lot of different places at once. You can be all of the angels at once. You can be God and the you, this you, and that every other you. And isn't that fascinating? Like, we're all just running around like we don't know each other, we don't know what's going on, and we don't know what's going to happen, but we do. And then we just play this game like, I forgot, because it's fun. Because then we get to, work through all of the nooks and crannies of doing stuff, and I guess that's what amuses us space aliens, because evidently that's what we are by Earth human vernacular when we're not here in the Earth human bodies and lives. This card hi, let me just abruptly switch subjects. This card also says courage, moving forward, making progress, action. The thing about this is that this last bit made me think of moving forward, making progress, action, and courage. When you're in space, what is under you? Like, you're used to having gravity. I mean, I am. This is almost like being in super deep water and not knowing in the ocean and not knowing what the heck's under you. Swimming, is it hungry? Like, I don't like that type of uncertainty, but that's kind of how life just is anyway, because you can only control so much, you can only direct events to a degree. And at the same time, you don't know if everything's going to work the way you want it to. Like, things could just take a left turn, go left field on you, and, you're not flying. You don't know, like, what's under you. But this is not that scenario. What this is, though, is, I think, the astral traveler, but also, like, you got to trust that you're gonna be safe. Like, you have your suit, so you're gonna be safe, but you have like no net, like gravity kick in at any time, and that it's kind of scary to me. Like, just if you're in space and you start to fall, I mean, they say you float, but if you've watched Star Trek, you know that orbits decay. Like I feel like eventually something is gonna cause you to need to plummet, and maybe some spaceship can swoop in and help you before you like hit something hard, but you gotta be brave enough to just try it and hope that everything goes okay, and that's life. Okay, so then I got this card, which this red and blue, okay, that was something that was in a message I got earlier, and it was talking about logos, really, but red and blue have a specific meaning, and red rose is like love, and then blue is blue is good too. I'm getting like a dove, so it was like hope and love, or something. Not love, red is love. Something that supports the red, though. And then also it says, okay, well, I want you to look at the picture, okay? And I also want you to think of hands. You got a left hand and a right hand, and you got a left brain and a right brain, and this thing I was watching was illustrating those in red and blue, because left brain, right brain stuff is like seeing with your eye and the image getting flipped, and that's all confusing. That's kind of what that was talking about that I saw earlier, so I'm not going to try to explain it. I'm already getting in a tangle trying to talk about it. But while I was watching it, this is a mudra thing, so I'm mentioning it because I discovered that I just started spontaneously doing them, and then learning later, like, oh, that's a mudra that I've been doing. And the ones that I've done, like the first one I did, I was super stressed out. I was working and learning something and I couldn't mess up, and it was like super stressful because I haven't had a job, and I never had a tech job, so that's what that was. And I hadn't worked in like over 10 years, so stressful. And I started doing this mudra, and then I find out about, like, I tried to ask people. I didn't look it up. I just asked people that I thought would know. And then I looked it up, and that's when I discovered I had started spontaneously doing a stress-reducing mudra. And it made me realize that I was doing other things that were also mudra. So then after that, I learned, like, oh, well, that is the reason why you are spontaneously doing something that you think you never heard of before, is possibly it is something they used to do in a previous life. And for me, that makes a certain kind of sense. So, anyway, I'm watching something earlier, and I just started doing this. I know this is a mudra. And you can't see me, really, but I mean, there's not much to see. You know what arms do from the wrist down. This is all there is to it. I didn't look up the picture yet, but I know that while I was listening to this, because it was like a lot, and my brain was just firing and firing, and this is new, so also this probably is happening to other people too, like all the stuff, the codes and that, activations are activating our DNA, and it's making junk DNA come to life, which is like a lot of the stuff we forgot stuff. We have to reenact it or re-engage it, and I think relearn it, but not entirely like with the mudras, like just spontaneously I'm doing like a whole thing. There was no conscious thought involved. It was like after the fact I had to figure out and learn, like, oh, I already said, but that's what that is. It was like mind-blowing if you didn't catch that, and I love it. So it's so sci-fi. So the card says, love is the bridge between you and everything. Right brain, left brain, they gotta connect. Here's a mudra that does that. There's a lot of them that do that, actually. Love is the bridge between you and everything. You and everything. You are everything. We're not that great with the love and the bridge, though. We are having some difficulties right now, but here's a bridge to the love bridge. Love people for being awful. They're doing the best awful they can, if that's how you feel, because I know that it's like it's hard. You're going back and forth, you know, right brain, left brain. It's also a personality thing, but there's lots of stuff in the world that's kind of upsetting and exciting, and there's a lot of opinions. And it's all, we're all it. Like, all of us are it. We're all of it. We're the thing. I'm just reiterating that. So, the card goes on to say, connection. Connection. Oneness. Finding your way forward. You know, eventually we have to, like, learn to integrate, because otherwise it's real hit and miss, and that's just not like a smooth, reliable way to go to progress. And yes, connection. Why is, you know, it shouldn't be so hard, since we're all me, we're all I. Like, the whole glob is us, is I, is me, is we, is I. It's, why does it break my brain? that is what we're supposed to be moving to, is like this I mean, we are interwoven, so we just have this like dissonance where we think we're separate, and again, it's part of like the blueprint and what we're here to do and learn, and we signed up to do, and put each other through all of these things because we like it on this whole other level. Like, not like it might be something awful and pervy, but that's not like the end game of it. That it's just like, okay, that is the experience that I'm here to have. I'm awful and I'm a perv, and you're gonna participate by being a victim or a prosecutor. Can you tell I have some things on my mind? Actually, some people, I should say. That kind of broadens it. So it says finding your way forward, which implicates a single person, it sounds like to me. But like I've been clumsily trying to express, we are all one. We are connected. But seriously, we are all one. Just my brain breaking on that again. It'll get integrated hopefully soon one day. So the last card I pulled is this one. And actually, this was the first card that flew out, but it just was aside. I don't know why I put it aside. So here's the picture that almost looks like I mean, once you get right with it, have a party. Once you can like settle into the idea of all of this, like, I don't know, re-engaging disengaged connections that we have, that we feel like we have, that we play like we have. When we get right with the idea, like, then we can have fun with it, I think, and not, I mean, part of it, I think, is like letting go of our like uptight, clenched butt resistance to, it's a new idea and it's breaking my brain. I'm not even gonna try. Come on, it's fun. Try. Try with me. Okay, this card says, sing like the birds, not worrying about what others think. Be yourself, share your heart, speak your truth. I mean, I feel like what I said toward the end there about like getting right with all of this stuff and getting to a point where you're so fine with it, you're so okay with it that you can just, I don't know, like be your best awful person and then go to the diner with the jukebox and kick up your heels. I don't know, like whatever fun you have. And the reason why I keep bringing it to that kind of awful, absurd place is because you you get the good, you get the bad, you take the both. I should stop, shouldn't I? I didn't do the music though, did I? Wink. Wink. Sorry, I'm afraid if I... Never mind. You don't need to know every thought I have, do you? Mind your beeswax. Okay, so... I mean, I guess that was just kind of a little checkup for everybody after all of the planetary volatility and such. Enjoy. Thank you and good night.